There. We are recording and we are live. So I'm going to leave the chat area over here on the right-hand side. I'm going to try and keep one eye on that. But if I miss any questions or comments or anything, then somebody can let me know. I can see part of the chat area there. So I don't know, Judy, do you want to say anything? Or do you want me to just get right into it?
I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time, especially on your birthday, to come and train us, because of the fact I've told everybody and been with the rooftops that you had increased your income by $25,000 first year with COVID, and you did it all virtually over what you did the year prior to that. That's incredible. And I mean, we see it and we see the numbers, you know, popping up that happen, but we're so excited about you taking the time to share with us what you're doing, because we are hungry to learn, to do what the right thing is to do so that we can get better results than what actually we're getting right now. Would everybody agree? Thumbs up?
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
absolutely.
The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Judy. It's an honor. And I was thrilled when you asked me. And like we were saying before we started, we were just chatting. I often do shows on my birthday because when you get to my age, you know, it's just another day, really. I said, this is 59. So this is the last one. This is the last one I'm celebrating. So I am open to continuing. All right. So Judy asked me to share a little bit of my story first, for those of you who don't really know me. But I do want to say, when she said about increasing the 25,000, you know, to me that it's mind boggling, because I was making good income. So it's not like I was making nothing and then got, you know, made $25,000 extra. I was making a great income. And so to make an extra $25,000, you know, during a pandemic is crazy. So, you know, I think you'll be able to tell by the end of the night, I love virtual. As we were saying earlier when we were sitting around chatting, I want this pandemic to be over because I want my life to go back to normal. I want to travel. I want to see you girls in person, but I will miss virtual. I love seeing people in person. I love the contact with women, but I am loving the virtual world. So a little bit about me. I got married 2 weeks out of high school in 1980. So yeah, I know some of you weren't even a drop on the radar. And so I really thought, you know, we'll get married. Doug had a good job. I'll have the family. We'll live happily ever after. And then all of a sudden it was like, what do you mean we don't have any more money for the rest of the month? There's still 2 weeks left. And then 2 years later, I was working a little part-time job. And then 2 years later, we started our family and things just got tighter and tighter and tighter. And so I got invited to an Alouette party and made this great excuse not to go because I thought I really can't afford anything. And I didn't have the best skin, and I thought, you know, there really probably isn't anything for me. So long story short, it was my husband's sister who had the party. And so she gave me little samples and pill bottles to try so I could see the product, and then hounded me to have a party so that she could get the second booking gift, which was a little Country Days eyeshadow palette. So those of you who've been around for a while, you might remember those little $5 Country Day palettes. That's one of the reasons why I started in the business. So I said to her, I'll have a show, but I am not selling. And, you know, at the end of the party, I decided, you know what have I got to lose? I wanted the whole kit. I wanted the lifetime discount, but I never saw this as something that I would be good at. Anything to do with public speaking in school, I failed or got really low grades. I used to have a girlfriend that would sit in the front row doing this when I got talking too fast to slow things down. So anything to do with public speaking, you know, just had me cringing. So I did my first party, well, kind of. I left the room after 5 minutes in tears because I couldn't even say my name. My name is I couldn't even get my name out. And so it was my girlfriends, and they said, come on back and try it again. It's just us. So I think my first show lasted 15 minutes because I raced through it. And then the next day I called my manager and said, I made a really big mistake and I'd like to bring my kit back. This is not for me. And she did the tough love. Back then we used to have to do 10 shows in 5 weeks to qualify. And she said, oh, Sheila, you signed a contract. You have to do the 10 shows. And then when those are done, then you can quit. And I remember hanging up the phone crying to my husband saying, she won't take the kit back. So the second show I went to, I think it was probably that night because I booked 5 my first week. I wanted to get them over with. And I actually took a breath through my first show and I thought, oh, I kind of got through that. Well, by the end of the first week, after doing 5 parties in a row, I felt like I've been doing it forever. And then I went to my first franchise meeting, and I'm pretty sure somebody took a syringe and injected Alouette into my bloodstream because I just never looked back. Now, I wasn't the best consultant. I didn't do all the things I was supposed to do. I didn't do a let's pretend. I didn't ask properly in the consultations, but I lived in our hometown and I knew a ton of people. So every time my bookings ran out, I just got on the phone and booked some more parties. And then about 3 or 4 years later, we moved to a new city where I knew no one and got a lead for a booking. And my manager said, it was a staff meeting night, and she said, come a little bit early so we can visit. And when I got there, she said, do your let's pretend for me. And I had to admit to her that I don't do it. And she knew I didn't do it because she knew I wasn't getting the results. So that changed everything. And then I just never really ever looked back. So for me, that's my, my start off, just like probably many of you here, we don't have to end up where we start off, obviously. And I even remember, so let's fast forward then to March of 2020. Doug and I were in Arizona on a motorcycle trip, and it was supposed to be our first 21-day vacation. We've never taken 3 weeks vacation. And just after we got there and we're headed out on the bikes, that's when the pandemic was declared. And so our 21-day vacation turned into an 8-day vacation. We got home, we had to do a 2-week quarantine. And then I thought, now what? Like we're dead in the water. Like I can't do shows. I got all these shows in April. I had my April all set up, ready to go when we came home. And so I thought, now what? Now what are we going to do? And so I really pictured for however long until this pandemic cleared up for the next month or two that we'd just be servicing clients. Well, then I believe it was Melissa in our franchise jumped on Facebook and did a Facebook Live party. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But I think I even said to Deborah, you're such a natural talking to the camera. I can't talk to the camera. I stutter and I say ums and ahs, and it's just so uncomfortable. But when you think about it, it's no different than when I did my first show. When I did my first show, like I said, I left the room in tears. And so now I did not leave my first Zoom show in tears, but I did stumble and, didn't know where to look. And so it's just something that, the confidence comes in the doing. And so I just found the more shows I was doing, the more confident that I got with it. And so now I just can sit at a camera and just look at the camera. And it just, to me, like I'm in the room with the women. So, I do have some notes too. So if you see me glancing over at the slides, because I don't want to miss anything. Anyway, so I did have my first week of shows in that first week of April booked. And so the first one I did was a Facebook Live, and it was okay. But I just found I was having to chase people down, and I was having to call them and having to get a hold of them. And it was just a little bit, it just didn't flow for me. And then my Thursday night show, I had made an event for the show, and they were all like, oh, I can't wait to see your faces. I missed you girls. And I thought, oh, Facebook Live, you're not going to see their faces. You're only going to be seeing my faces. And so then I don't know who in our franchise came up with the whole idea of doing Zoom, but I thought, let's do Zoom. And so it just totally opened up a whole new world with the Zoom. So I don't know even what page everybody's on. I don't know if you've done Zoom shows, you've done Facebook shows, if you're just doing live shows, if you're not doing live shows. I don't think many of you are doing live shows. So I'm just going to really start from scratch. So we never looked back from doing the Zoom shows. Was it easy? Lord, no, it was not. But neither was that first show in 1987 either. And so did we make mistakes? Absolutely. And, I can remember one of our managers, Alice, actually thought she was going into her VIP group, and it was on her private wall, and she had family from Italy messaging her saying, what are you doing? And so there's, I've lost people in the breakout rooms. I thought they got disconnected, and meanwhile I stuck them in a wrong breakout room, and they were sitting there waiting for me. So things happen, but when you can make fun and have light with it and joke around with, the girls are very forgiving. So why virtual? First of all, it's a connection for women. I can't tell you how many women I have saying to me, oh my goodness, Sheila, I needed this so bad tonight. I just really needed to see your faces. And, I feel like when this all first started, I really felt like I was going to be a social distraction for them. But like many of you, well, I don't know what everybody's situation is, but I don't do anything else other than Alouette. So I am home by myself all day, every day. And if I didn't have these women to get on the screen with at night, I would lose my mind. And so people will often say to me, my friends will say, how are you handling, the lockdown? Because we are in a lockdown. We have been since December 26th this round. And they're like, how are you handling it? And I'm like, well, actually, I've been so busy with my business, I haven't really noticed. And like I said, if it wasn't that I was seeing women on the screen at night, I would lose my mind. Here's another example. It's in my head. It's not in my notes. I want to say it now while I'm thinking about it. It was my show last night. There was 7 women on 6 plus the hostess, so 7 of them. And I did the breakout rooms at the end and did all their consultations. And then when I went back into the main room, they were all chatting and laughing and having fun. And I was like, okay, if I leave, they all have to leave because, I'm the host. And so what we've started doing is making the host of the Zoom room. And so I said to them, you know what, if you girls want to hang out in here and visit, I'll make Tamara the host. And then I'm going to scoot. And then you guys just close up when you're done. And that's what they did. And she messaged me today and said, Sheila, I left at 8:30. They left at 11:30 last night. She said, we had so many laughs and it was just so much fun to hang out. So it isn't just about selling women product. It isn't just about, sharing Alouette. We're giving women an outlet to hang with their friends in a safe environment. So for me, I really love that. All right. So, the other thing we love about virtual is that it's opened up the guest list because women are inviting their friends and family from all across Canada. Like I've had women at my shows from Montreal, from Calgary, like from all across Canada. And so it's really opened up the guest list. And so I really encourage my hostess, who do you know in a new area that would never be able to come to your live show that can come to your virtual show? We were joking a little bit before that hostesses don't have to clean their house. I tell them in my show, it's never been easier to host your own Alouette party. And I'll say, let's say Judy's my hostess. I'll say, Judy, you can tell them, did you have to clean your house? No, I suggest just clean where you're going to see the camera. Cheers to everyone. What are you girls all drinking? And I hold up my water and they hold up their wine or their coffee or whatever. And I say, and Judy, did you have to provide the refreshments? Nope. I'm telling you girls, it's never been easier to host an Alouette party. And the best part about this is that, you are all part of the Facebook group that I made. I'll do all the work for you. All I ask you to do as my hostess is invite your guests and then make some comments. It's pretty darn easy. And so, because that's our frame of mind, it makes it easier for them to want to do it as well. It's super, super easy. And so, like I said, it is the social distraction for them and for me. There's no driving. We're in the midst of winter here. And, we'll get a snowstorm and usually I'm all panicky thinking, do I call my hostess? Do I see if all the guests are coming? Now I can look at the snowstorm and think, oh, isn't that pretty? And not have to worry about it. So, and then, when the show's done, I'm home. I can do way more shows in a week because I don't have to add in all the driving. The last week of January, I did 6 parties and 3 of them were 3 hours away. So that's a 6-hour round trip drive. I would never do 6 parties in a week if I was driving a 6-hour round trip. But when I'm just walking back to my office, sitting down, turning on the computer and doing the show, like we even have girls in our franchise doing 2 and 3 a night. Now it's crazy, but they're making it happen because they have big goals. So when the world goes back to normal, whatever normal is going to look like, yes, I will love to go back and do live shows because I do miss seeing women, but there will always be a virtual component to it. I can see having somebody at my show holding the camera and I can live stream into a group so that they have friends and family that live far away that can see it. Up until virtual, I don't know if I should be saying this out loud or not, but I am. You'll get that I speak my truth, but I never held shows open. I always encouraged the hostess to have orders ahead of the show. And then I did the show that night. And then the next morning I entered into the computer, boom, and it was being delivered. Now I leave the show open for 48 hours and it's shocking the sales that come in and bookings that come in after, because originally we started recording the parties and then I would upload the recording to my YouTube and then I would send it and then I would post it. And then I think it was Misty that said, oh, I just live stream into the group. And we were like, huh, what's that? And so then we all learned to live stream and it is just the best thing. So you just click the little live stream button I'm going to have a question and answer period at the end of of tonight's session. So if I'm hitting on something that you're like, what's she talking about? Write it down and then we'll talk about it after. But you can live stream right into your show group. And as soon as your show's done, that show's there. And so it just makes it so easy for the guests that couldn't come to the party. And I've had guests who've, you know, oh, I got to go put my kids to bed and they can't stay for the whole party, but they can just go in and watch the live stream. So that live stream has really been a game changer. And so I see when life goes back to normal and our business does go back to what we ever consider to be normal, that the virtual business will still be always a part of it. And just like, you know, when we go back to live parties and there is a snowstorm, we don't ever have to cancel a party again. We don't ever have to have a hostess say, oh, you know, nobody can get here. It'll be like, hey, let's jump on Zoom. I'll send you the link. Let's do it on, yeah. And so that's a game changer. When I think of my team, it gives me goosebumps. I've had girls who've been, I call them dormant for a few years, my cheerleaders that, you know, they come to all the functions and they're cheering everybody on and for their own different reasons, never really did much with virtual. Well, I've had so many that have with the virtual that were able to do more business because of virtual, whether it's because of their full-time jobs, they didn't give them time to get to a live show, but they can come home and go to their office and sit down and do a party. Women who have joined my team that don't drive, you don't have to drive doing virtual. I've had women who are like, there's no way I could do makeup on women, on other people. I can barely do it on myself. I could never do makeup on other people. Well, we don't do makeovers now. And so she joined. My daughter-in-law, I was after her for 3 years to start. She's a very, very shy girl. And after conference, the Sunday after conference, she was over and she said, you know, she was asking me all about conference. And she said, is it hard to do? And I was like, are you thinking about doing this? And she goes, I could never stand in front of a room full of women and talk, but I could look at a computer screen and talk. I could talk to the camera. So she started. So it really has opened up for recruiting as well. And so you really want to be promoting, like if you love Alouette and you can share these products, you can talk to a camera, then you can do Alouette. So my girls, are they making money? Yes, they are. So it's not just me that's made an increase in our income. Like I would probably say all of our management team, but you know, sometimes people look at managers and think, well, they're just special, they're different. No, we're not. We just do the business. But when I look at my beauty consultants who are making money, who are doing shows and making money, it blows my mind away. And so you might be thinking, you know, what show are you guys doing? Or what kind of show should I be doing? You guys know this show. You're the #1 franchise in the US. You guys know this business. And so it really is taking the show that you know and just putting it onto virtual party. That's it. And so I am going to talk about, you know, where to start and how to get the momentum rolling. But it can happen just like that. There are no secrets. There's no weird things happening. We just do the show. And, you know, some will stand like some of the girls will have their products up on a stand and they'll stand and do their party. I don't know how I'm ever going to go back to a live party and stand through the whole party. I sit here at my desk. I just reach around, grab my products. It really, well, as my grandkids would say, it's easy peasy. So let's start with some of the basics. First of all, you need to be excited and then get your people excited. So let me back up a little bit. When this all first happened, I thought, we are dead in the water. We're only going to be servicing customers. And I got into a little bit of a panic mode. But you know, when everybody started talking virtual, I thought, see, I don't know if that's me or not. I don't talk to the camera that great. I'd rather talk to people live. I do much better when I'm one-on-one with people. But you know what? My bills still kept coming. There was still an Ireland trip to be, I don't know what trip it was that we were working on then, whether it was Ireland or what it was, whatever it was, love the cash. And so I still had goals and I still had bills and I still wanted to do the numbers that I'm used to doing. And so that was one of the things that drove me to think, all right, I could talk to people one-on-one, but it is so much easier doing your talk, doing your show for 6 or 8 people at a time. You know, everybody's different. I've never been one that's done a lot of one-on-one consultations because I always figured if I'm going to say the whole spiel, I want to say it for 6 or 8 women at once, as opposed to one at a time. So that was one of the main things for me was doing the virtual shows. It was the next best thing. Of course, lives is best, but this was the next best thing. And I hear that all the time at my shows with the girls that are at my shows, the guests. They'll say, you know, getting all together is the best, but this really is the next best thing. And so it really, they feed off of your belief. And so if you believe this is really the next best thing to do in live, they'll feed off of that as well. All right, so let's get down to some of the basics. You can book these shows quick. Your hostess doesn't have to get her house clean. She doesn't have to get all the food made. And sometimes that holds people back from booking shows right away. But these shows can happen quick. You know, we've booked shows from a Sunday to a Tuesday night. It makes it a little quick for your posting in your show groups, but it can be done because they don't need a lot of time to prepare. Especially right now, especially here for us, people are on lockdown, so they're not going anywhere anyway. So it is really much simpler to get the shows booked right away. The next thing you want to do is once you get the date set is you want to show plan her and you want to get her excited because you need to partner with her just like it is with a live party. You know, I'll say to her, I'm going to set up all the posts. I'm going to do all the work for you. But what I need you to do is I need you to be able to, you know, reach out to your people and say, did you see the group invite? Did you, you know, have you clicked that you're coming? Because you can always see who's hasn't clicked coming. And so the hostess can tag them and message them. So it's getting to your hostess to partner with you, getting her to comment, because the more your hostess comments, her guests are like, oh, I'll comment too. So it's getting your hostess activated with you. It's offering a gift for having 8 guests on the Zoom. And I don't say 8 ordering guests. My hostess's job is to get the people there. My job is to sell them. Sawyer's question, do you create an event within the groups? All right, good question. So we started out doing events and I was a diehard event girl. So I like to be able to see that 8 people were coming and 5 maybes. Because you're saying RSVP, I'll come to that RSVP thing. So I was a diehard, I like the events because I can see how many are coming. And it took me several months, some of us are a little slow at learning this one, to realize just because 8 people said they're coming does not mean 8 people are coming. And so some of the girls in our franchise started working on groups, doing it through groups instead of doing events. And so I think it was like November, that's how long it took me till November to say, all right. And I think it was when I had, you know, 12 said they're coming to the event and like 1 person showed up. I'm like, okay, just because they say they're coming does not mean they're coming. So the bonus of having the group is, and I am a diehard group girl now, I will never do another event for my parties, is because when you set it up as an event, unless that person clicks going, they see no posts, they see nothing in that event. On a group, for 2 weeks before the actual date of the party, even if they don't accept the invitation for the group, they still see the comments. It's called previewing. Thanks, Sawyer. That's the word I wanted. So they're seeing all my posts. And so one of those posts just might be enough for them to go, oh, maybe I should be checking this out. And so it's also easier to tag people in a group than an event. And I'm gonna get into all that as well. So setting up the group, I have a Google Doc with all my group posts. Judy, if you want that, I'll send it to you. I have cleared that all with Deborah. She just said, just share everything. So I just have a Google Doc that I just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. The other great thing about doing the groups is that you can schedule your posts. And I love that because we're busy women. And so I was always constantly thinking, did I post? Who's do I have to post it now? So now once I set up her group, I just post the whole, I schedule all the posts. And so the night of a party, I do a 3 o'clock post that says, don't forget your notepad and pen, blah, blah, blah. Often we'll do like an hour before saying 1 hour to go. And then at 6:45, if my party's at 7, at 6:45, I have a post that says, I'm in the room, come on in. If you need the link, here it is again. So I was constantly setting timers, watching my watch, making sure that I didn't miss any of those. And now that I schedule the posts, I don't even have to think about them. Oh yeah, and that's a great one. Deborah just mentioned in the chat group there that when you do have a show group for your hostess, I just had it a couple weeks ago with Jess, her show group. Yeah, it's the beautiful part. So once they once they turn their show into a debut, into a launch, and they're deciding to get started, then I just go in and make a post and say, this is my last post. I'm so excited that Jess is getting started in the business. And this is now going to be her VIP group. And she's going to be posting here about all our sales and great information coming up. And then I make her the admin, and boom, she has her VIP group up and running even before she even has her kit. So the groups really are a game changer as well. I can screen share in a minute and just kind of quickly run through a group. If you do you want to see that, or you just want me to send you the Google Doc? What do you want me to do? All right, you want to see it? You want me to screen share one? All right, let's do that. Let me get this over here. Let me find my, all right. All right, give me 1 second here, and I am going to screen share. And let's hope that all right. Okay, so hang on, I got, girls wishing me happy birthday and all that fun stuff. All right, so let me just scroll real down fast here down to the, okay, this will be the night that my computer will be slow. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're gonna scroll all the way down. And so this is a party that I set up. So what I love about the business is that we all help each other. And so we've really been tweaking things and adding things and sharing things. And so you guys will find that as well as you're going along. And hang on, sorry, let me get some of this stuff out of the way. It's being very slow to scroll down to the bottom. All right, so I really do want to get down to the bottom so you can see. So Patricia, and sometimes it comes from being at other home show parties. So Patricia went to another home show party and they did this and she shared it and I love it. All right, so here we go. So I've made my group, and if you're not on Canva, oh, I don't even want to go there because Canva is like my new best friend. So I make up her cover photo. And then I think I got this from Mindy. So this is just kind of a welcome, just stay in the group, even if, just to stay in the group and what they're going to need to party. And then I post this one here, don't miss a post. And so I tell them to follow 3 simple steps, how to, turn on the notifications, and then I'll give them 2 extra tickets in our attendance draw. So I always draw for a free visible aid for everyone who attends the party. So when they do all this, I give them 2 extra tickets in the draw. And so what this does, it gets them commenting on the post. And the more you get them interacting, then the more they're likely to come to your party. All right. And then this one is the next one. Now they're sometimes can get out of order depending on how they comment. So if they comment on a post, it kind of changes the order. You girls know that. And so what I do is I go up to the top of her group and click on the people that are coming and write down all their names. And then I tag them and I say, I can't wait to share Alouette with you. I tag them all. And then I remind them again to do the 3 simple steps. And so then I get them commenting on more on that. And then introduce myself and tell them a little bit about Alouette, how long I've been in it, talking about the free visible aid for the draw, doing the, why Alouette, throwing in the makeup, because I like to cover a little bit of everything. So if you have someone who only wants makeup, I want her to see, oh, they have a beautiful line of color. I'll go and check that out. If you have somebody that, that says, oh, I love skincare, I talk a little bit about that. I talk about our environmental protection line and, to bring a friend, everything's always better when you bring a friend. And so this is the little snippets that they're getting through the party. I love this one. It's what's your relationship with Alouette? And when I stop screen share, I'm going to share with you what I do with all this information as well. So it really is an information gathering thing. And so then there's like the sales and, time to RSVP. And then I show them how to, what they have to do to get the Zoom to work, and then the Zoom link. Now, here's one of my big game changers is the day of the party, I post the Zoom link. And then underneath that, I say, just want to make sure everyone sees the link for the party tonight. So I'm tagging you. And then I tag them all again. And see, before I was asking the hostess to make sure she tags everyone or make sure that you send the link to everyone. But I was relying on the hostess instead of controlling my own business. So I just started tagging the hostess has made a huge difference in my guest attendance at the parties. So this is my day of the afternoon of the party. Don't forget to bring your pen and paper because I want them doing their wish. We'll talk a little bit about their wish lists. And then, yeah, this is my post. I'm in the room, set up, ready to go. Can't wait to see you. Come on in. And then when the party's over, I post our super sales and our value packages. Yeah, And then I live streamed. So we live stream into the party. So this was me, the live stream of the party. And so then that anybody can go back in then and watch that. The day before the party, I have them fill this in. And again, it's just, I love hearing people saying, oh yes, I'm ordering soon, I'm a #1, or okay. And then this is one of my favorites. The morning of the party, I say, this one makes me giggle, party's closing at noon today. And so it's those reminders in a fun way. And then once the party's closed, I post that it's post and entered. And then I link it to my VIP group. Now this one, I don't know why, but I usually will post our consultant opportunity. And, if your wish list is bigger than your budget, to host the party. All right, so that lets me stop share screen there. All right, so I hope that helped. And if you want, I can even, I will send Judy that, yes, you take it out of the hostess's hand. Where do you do RSVP? I'm not really sure what you mean about that one, Sawyer. Where do you do our RSVP? I asked them, I post that, that we are going to be, I'll be checking with my hostess tomorrow morning. And so please let her know, please, it's time to RSVP to our hostess. And then I message the hostess the morning of the party and say, I'm so excited about tonight. How many people do you have coming? And go from there. So, so this is let me show you this here, if you can read my chicken scratch. So I do a column. And so this was, I don't know where Renee's party is, but okay. So here's Autumn's party. And these were all the people that she was, that had said that they were going to the party. And so, hang on, this is when I really mastered the system on this page. All right. So then I write down all their names. And that way then I can tag them easier. The ones who get the 2 extra tickets, I do a little check mark beside their name so I can see that. And then when they come to the party, I highlight it in pink. And so for me, it just helps me to know that things are really working so much better, especially since I started doing that tagging of the posts. So, there are some parties here where there was 3 at the party, but those parties still will close at $800 or $900 because of that live stream. But it really has increased the attendance of my parties. So use Zoom, but have your Facebook Live going at the same time. Yep, that's exactly right, Tiffany. I do my, I'm on Zoom, and then I have a video for that, Sawyer. I have a video that shows you how to live stream, and I will send that to Judy as well. And so,
we have videos on everything.
Yeah, I got videos for
documents on everything.
So yeah, it is so easy to live stream, and I will send Judy that video as well, and then you will be, I will get it. You will all get that video. And so, yeah, so it's so easy to live stream. So, when all the girls were having great success with Facebook, doing Facebook Lives, I messaged Deborah and I'm like, and I think that was when I was in my little period of like, I wasn't getting the guests at the show. And I'm like, all right, I think I need to change. I think I need to go to Facebook Lives because it's obviously working for them. I'm freaking out. And Deborah was like, Sheila, you need to stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. See, I love Zoom because I like everybody being together. I feel like we're all in Judy's living room hanging out with her tonight. And I say to them, I love that you girls get together. I know you got to listen to me talk for a little bit, but I'm hoping you're enjoying hearing about the products. But as soon as I'm done, I'm going to have you flip back to gallery view, and it's going to be kind of like we're kind of like sitting in Judy's living room together. But then I like to do the Zoom because I like to have them all together. And I like the breakout rooms because with the breakout room, and I have a video for that too, if you need to know how to do a breakout room, I like to be able to take them to the breakout room and to be able to have that one-on-one time with them. They give me their credit card over the computer. They'll say, Sheila, I've got these, spots, and it's just like doing a consultation at the end of our live shows. And so it really is, I feel Zoom is my baby, but I felt like I was missing out on something with the live, with doing Facebook Live. So I really feel like I have the best of both worlds now. I do my parties in Zoom and I live stream to Facebook. And the other great thing about that is if you have people who are not, if you are not, some people can't get on Zoom for whatever reason. If they can't get Zoom to work, I'll say to my host, just tell them not to worry about it. Just tell them to stay in that group and they can watch the live stream and just let me know so I can put them in the attendance draw. Jennifer, how long are you in the breakout rooms, and do others leave while you're in the breakout rooms? Sometimes, but I do say at the end of my show, just like I used to do at my live shows, ladies, I am not in a hurry tonight, but if you are, you let me know, and I want to take you to the breakout room first. Honest to goodness, if you've never been to a breakout room, it is like, beam me up, Scotty, we're going. So who's ready to go? Who wants to go to the breakout room first? And if my previous hostess was Deborah, I will usually start with Deborah, because usually your previous hostess already knows what she's getting and what she wants, and she's already been to a breakout room in the last party. So I will say, Deborah, how about you as our previous hostess? Do you want to start the breakout rooms with me tonight? And usually, you know, and it's the Alouette nod. Deborah, do you want to start with the breakout rooms with me tonight? And usually the previous host goes, oh yeah, I'll do that. And so actually, yeah, just like a live show. And so I will say, if anybody has to leave your phone number with Judy, and then I will contact you. But honestly, they don't leave, because I say, all right, Deborah and I are going to the breakout room to do our consultation. The rest of you, you're going to hang out here, mingle, chit chat, you know, just kind of hang out and do the girls' night. See, women are missing that girl time. And so when I'm at the breakout room, they're getting that girl time. And it's so fun when I come back in, because sometimes they don't even see me come back in. I'll hear them laughing and carrying on, or I'll even hear them saying, oh my gosh, I got that, you know, Radiance cleanser and I love it, blah, blah, blah. And they're talking about the product, and they're selling each other on the product in the breakout room, especially if some of them there are already using Alouette. So, I don't spend a long time in my breakout room. I do my consultation. I do the consultation. I take her order, book her party, talk to her about selling. But I will say to her, I'm going to give you a call tomorrow, or, you know, it's so much simpler. I'll just message you some tips on how. I don't go into a long show planning time, because I can do that with her one-on-one after. Right? Hopefully that makes sense. So, you're going to tweak this as you go. And, you know, so many of you, I know, you know, you hang out, you chit chat together. So if you're going to be in an area where you're like, oh, see, this isn't working, what are you guys doing with this? And that's what we've done. We've said, you know, I'm not getting people to stay on my show. What are you guys doing? We just had Andrea Clausen talk at our meeting on Monday night, and that girl is a firecracker. Listen to this. She did 31 shows in 18 days. Would she have been able to do that if she was doing live parties? Good Lord, no. But 31 shows in 18 days. And now she does Facebook Lives, and she has mastered it. But my goodness, the interaction that she gets, she's constantly saying, okay, girls, just type in the chat area. You know, this is a girls' night. What do girls like to do when we're together? We like to talk. So get talking in that chat. Like, she really engages her people. And so I've picked up so much from her that I can't wait to do my next party again. I used some of those at my show last night. And so you are going to pick up and learn things from each other. You can do voice messaging in the inbox. Yeah, you can send people voice messages in the inbox. It's so simple to call her the next day and say, or to send her a voice message through Messenger and say, oh my gosh, I am so excited about your party. Okay, I'm going to make your group today. And as soon as it's done, I will message you. And all you need to do is start inviting your people. I love the voice message because it sounds so much more enthusiastic than just getting a typed message. So yeah, doing the voice message. Ever tried Facebook rooms? You know what? Good question, Emily. Not for an Alouette party, I haven't, but my cousin did a baby shower through Facebook rooms, and I found it very unstable. I found it not to be yeah, you're never going to convert me. I'm a Zoom girl. And so I just find it's just so, yeah, the girls tested it, didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it for the baby shower that we did. I find Zoom to be so much more stable. It is $20 a month to upgrade, which you're going to need to do, so you have more than 40 minutes in a break room. But honest to goodness, it's $20, I'm not spending any money on gas. And actually, that's another thing too. But you need write-offs. Absolutely. It's a great write-off. And honestly, I pay something for my hostess for every party because I'm not driving to her shows. Now, when I first started, I would say, you know, your shopping spree, I'm not driving to your house. I'm going to pay your shopping spree. So I would pay their shopping spree. Or if, you know, Deborah likes to put on hostess bonuses for the month. And so if there's a hostess bonus, I pay it because it's an investment in my business. I'm not spending any money doing anything else, driving to the show, not, you know, doing the booking bags. Well, I do them a little bit different. I'm going to get to that in a minute as well. Yeah, Emily, try the Zoom room. I think you will love it. All right. So you're going to tweak as you go, and you're going to make it work for you. If you're not comfortable in front of a mirror or in front of a camera, hold a mirror up and talk to the mirror. Go live in your, that's what I started doing. I started going live in my VIP group to get a little bit more comfortable talking to the camera. In the beginning, we would do trainings, and some of them were like, you know, just as simple as it's all about the position of your camera as well. You don't want your camera down here. You don't want to be, you know, people looking up your nose or an extra set of chin. You want to be eye level or higher. You want a selfie light. If you don't have a selfie light, get a lamp. And so I've had girls say to me, do I really need a selfie light? Okay, well, this is with the selfie light and this is without. Do you see the difference? Like, it's such a great investment. So get yourself a selfie light. It'll make you look so much younger too. All right, so where to start? So if you're sitting there again, well, this all sounds fabulous, but now what do I do with my empty calendar? I don't know what your calendars look like, but let's say it is an empty calendar. Once you're sold on it, you can sell others on it. So you could call people and say, you are not going to believe this, Alouette has gone virtual. And so I am looking for my first 6 hostesses to take this business virtual with me. What do you think? Honestly, I will set it all up for you. I don't even need you to clean your house or get any refreshments. I'm going to set it all up for you, my friend. It cannot be any simpler. I have got the 10th and the 8th open. Which night works better for you? And get her booked in there. You may even want to start doing your own mystery hostess parties. If you've never done a mystery hostess party, start there with a virtual mystery hostess party. It's funny because last April I thought, well, this might be a good way to kind of get testing the virtual waters, and did a mystery hostess party. Had over $1,000 in sales. I got the bookings at it, gave away the hostess benefits, and my customers all loved it. And so I've done one every single month. Now, I've had other managers say, oh, do you think that's too much? Well, when people stop coming and stop ordering and stop booking, then maybe I'll stop. But we are now 11 months in. I just did another one last week. Now, mostly they've been all regular Alouette shows, but I have tweaked them. I did a product hack party night, mystery hostess party. Saturday morning, I did a wake up and makeup workshop where I came on totally barefaced. It was a huge step out of my comfort zone. Didn't even have my eyeshadow coloring up my hair. Some of you maybe missed that, but we're in lockdown here. I have not had a hair color since I don't know when. So yeah, that is my Coco Couture and Black Onyx hiding that gray runway strip there. So I taught them how to showed them how to do that. And then I did my makeup as they did their makeup, and then gave away the hostess benefits. And it was another $850 party. So they always come to those. And I do those in my VIP group, and then I post on my personal wall. If you're my friend on Facebook, you've maybe seen me do them. Yep, some do half faces too. I love to do it. I did it on Saturday morning, so I thought, let's just do the whole face, and you got the whole day. I did offer a special gift for anybody who posted their before and afters in my VIP group, which was amazing. I think I had 12 or 13 did it. Well, that was just customers. I have consultants that posted theirs, but just customers. And then what I found from that was other customers posting and encouraging and complimenting other customers. And so I have one, she posted something nice on every single before and after makeover. And so I messaged her and I said to her, oh my goodness, you're such an encourager. You'd be so great in this business. And she's kind of thinking now, but maybe starting in the business. So it really is about building a community, Sawyer. It really, really is. And so if you don't know where else to start with your own mystery hostess party. I have girls on my team that, you know, very seldom do parties, but they will do mystery hostess parties every single month. It's another great way to service your customers because you're also giving back. It's not just always about asking for the sale. You're giving away hostess benefits. I do, anybody who comes, they get 1 ticket into the draw. For every $50 regular priced order, they get 2 more tickets. When they book their own virtual party, they get 3 more tickets. When they join my team, they get 10 extra tickets. So, you know, it's just a great way to build. So I would start there. I think my smallest mystery hostess party was $600, but it's amazing when I look back on the chains of parties, they come from a booking from a mystery hostess party. Like I said, most of them have been just regular parties, but you can do specialty things once in a while. If you've never done a mystery hostess party, I would start off just doing a regular party because I'm assuming most of you have, if you don't, you need to be. I'm assuming most of you have VIP groups, but it could be a while since your people have seen an actual show if they've been in your VIP group for a while. So I would start off just doing a regular show. Teach me how to book from virtual. Sawyer, thank you. I love you. All right, because I was ready. It was in my notes and I've skipped over top of it. All right, so I do the Let's Pretend. I would like to assume, yes, what Sawyer said. I would like to assume everybody's doing Let's Pretend. If you're not, you need to start doing Let's Pretend. You know, it's, you know, in the old days, for those of you who've been around forever, we used to hand the bag to somebody, we'd hand a calculator to somebody. I don't bother with the calculator anymore. I keep things simple. I have a skincare bag that I throw all the skincare in as I'm talking about it, and then I use that. If you don't have a bag, I have new girls that don't have bags. I tell them to get a nice bucket. And as you're talking about your skincare, you talk about it and throw it in the bucket. And so that when you go to do your Let's Pretend, you can say, you know, so, you know, Alouette has the best hostess benefits. And honestly, girls, I really feel, I think I might've got this from Miss Jennifer Cook. I really feel that I can get everything you want in 2 parties, honestly. The night I meet you, which is tonight, and you, especially when you start with skincare, and the party that you're gonna have, I'll get you everything you could ever desire and more. I did get it from Jennifer. I thought it was from Jennifer. All right, so I can get you everything you want in 2 parties. The night I meet you, especially when you start with skincare, and then book your own party, let me get you everything else that's on your wish list. So girls, if your wish list is bigger than your budget, I really want you to think about hosting your own party. So that's why I get them. I really encourage them to write a wish list. So at the beginning of the party, I say, if you didn't grab your notepad and pen, I'm going to pause for just a second. I'm going to let you get your notepad and pen, because girls, you're going to want to write these products down. Anything that you think you might be interested in, you write it down on a piece of paper, because I know what happens at the end of the party. You're going to think, I can remember that first great product you talked about, but then you talked about another one. I couldn't remember the first one. So don't try and remember everything. Just write down everything that you think you might be interested in. Obviously, it doesn't mean you're buying what's on your list. I don't even get to see your list. It's just so you don't have to remember everything. But then in my booking talk, I say, now, if your wish list is bigger than your budget, you're going to really want to have a party. So we suggest you start with your skincare, and I show them the skincare, and then simply have a show and get everything else at your show. So, Dana, I'm going to pretend you were my hostess last night. Dana, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to unmute or anything. Every once in a while, just give me a thumbs up, okay? And then I do my Let's Pretend, and I'm like, how's that for you, Dana? Does that work for you? Does that work for you? And so I get her excited about it, and I do the Let's Pretend, and I throw in, I do an average party, a $300 party with 3 bookings, and this is what you're going to get, and I throw it all in the bucket, and I say, if I had a calculator adding this all up, it would have been probably over $600 worth of product at 80 to 90% off. Girls, you can't walk into a store anywhere and buy Alouette. So we appreciate our hostess opening up their homes, even if it is virtually, so that we can spoil you and your friends. And I got to tell you, what I've been hearing from my shows over these last 11 months, your girlfriends are going to say, thank you so much, Judy, for having this party tonight. It was so great to see you all. So your friends are really going to love the fact that you're going to be able to all get together. All right. So if you've muted, you don't need to do this. This is what I say at my show. Okay, girls, if you're muted, just unmute yourself, because we are going to play a little game. And the game is to see who's a little bit of a game player. So now I'm going to fan up some cards here, and I've got them numbered 1 through 12. All right. So if you decide to play the game, it means you're going to pick one of these cards, and you're going to do whatever's on the back of the card. Now, please don't panic. None of them say sing a song or do a dance around the camera, although some of you might enjoy doing that. But what they're going to say is half of them say free gift. And if yours says free gift, you're going to get our purse size of our hand and body silk. So you have hand and body with you all the time. The other half says girls night, which is what Judy's did tonight. And you're going to receive a free full size product. And you're going to get a choice of a hand and body silk, a visible aid. And I got to tell you, girls, there is one of these cards in here has a $70 flawless. All right. So if yours gets the flawless at your party, you're going to get that for free. All right. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, I really don't want to pick a card, I really don't want to have a party, when I come to you, you can say pass. And I promise I won't cry or kick you out of the Zoom room. You don't have to worry about that. So you can say no, thank you, or you can just play the game and pick one of the numbers and do what it says on the back of the card. All right. So I'm going to start here across the top, and then I just go across the top of the screen, and I'll be saying, Sawyer, do you want to play the game? And she's going to say yes or no. And, and then because again, the memory, as we get older, it doesn't seem to be as sharp as it used to be. So I do keep a notepad and a pen. And so if Sawyer's is hand and body, I write, I would just write probably SAWHB so I can just remember. And then, okay, so let's say she picked number 2 and it's the free gift, which is the purse size hand and body. So I would say, oh my goodness, Sawyer, that is the sample size. See, in the beginning, I talk about its purse size, but now that I want to upgrade her, I say it's a sample size. So I'll say, oh my gosh, Sawyer, that's the sample size of our hand and body silk. Or would you rather do a party and get the full size hand and body? And she's going to, or she's not going to. All right. And then if I go to somebody else, let's say I go along to, I don't know, Christy, and Christy's like, and getting flustered, I'll be like, Christy, look, I'll come back to you. I don't want to stress you out. Like, this is supposed to be fun and quick. So I keep it moving. You know, and if somebody says, like, you can't see right now, you can't see that I've got a pen and a paper and that I'm writing a note. So if I've got Christy who's kind of on the fence, I'll write Christy ? So that when I go to do the breakout rooms, I can remember that Christy was one of the ones that was kind of iffy. All right, does that make sense? Or if I have somebody who won the sample but was kind of iffy, I would write down, you know, Jennifer, sample and a question mark. So then in the breakout room, I could say, Jennifer, really, I don't want to give you the sample of the hand and body silk. I'd rather give you the full size. Why don't we do a party? All right, so that's how I book my parties from the virtual, is this. Now, some of the girls in our franchise do the Whirly thing on an app, and I tried that, but you got to wait for that thing to go around, and I just found it took a little bit of time, and people get a little bit distracted. So I like the cards. I like to fan them out. My Free Flawless, I have a few Free Flawless cards, and I switch them up because, you know, you do one party and the Flawless was free on number 10. When I go to do her party, it's amazing how many people will pick number 10 because I'm pretty sure the hostess has said Flawless was number 10. So yeah, I switch them around. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Honestly, it's why not? That's what I had to get my head wrapped around. This is not rocket science. So, you know, I had one night where I went to close a breakout room and I left the meeting. I clicked the wrong button and I was gone, and it made my hostess the host, and I couldn't, like, yeah, and I was messaging my host going, I am coming back, I promise I'm coming back. So, you know, you just got to have fun with it because that's what this business is. And when you're having fun, you know, if I was this really stiff person just doing this training tonight, I probably would have lost all of you and you would have been on searching other things. But if you're engaged and having fun, do you see the difference? Like it just makes such a difference. And, you know, you're providing a service to people. You're providing the social distraction. And I don't know, because, you know, I know you're in the States and I'm up here in Canada. I don't know how things are different, but I just know that, you know, women need that connection. And I think it's going to be a while before people feel comfortable having 8-10 women in their living room. And so this is the opportunity for them to get everybody together, to hang out. Yep, they're going to listen to you just like they would at a live show, but then they really just get to sit and visit on the phone. When you were open, did you find your guest attendance? When were you open, did you find your...
She's saying when you were open before Christmas. So like when y'all kind of reopened.
Oh, okay, before our lockdown? Yes and no. I don't think it's any different than a live show. Like I really think like, oh, that's, yeah, a really good question. Yeah, so when we're in lockdown, obviously people are dying to get together to see each other. They're really missing each other. But even when we're not in lockdown, people still, at least in our area, are not comfortable getting together still with a room full of people. And I'm not comfortable yet. I don't think I'd be comfortable yet going into a room with 8 other women. I'm just not there yet. And so you found that. Yeah. And we don't have the mass vaccinations yet here in Canada. No. And I don't know if it will change or not, but you know, I've stopped really kind of stressing about it as well, because I also find that even on the nights where I only have 3 people, I'll message Deborah and I'll say, oh, well, my show tonight was $65 with 3 people or 2 people, whatever, but I'll let you know what it closes at. And then in 2 days, I'll message her and I'll say, okay, that show closed at 600 and one of the girls is booking. Like, yep. It blows me away how the business comes back. So, you know, when things do open up, and if my guest attendance does drop a little bit, I'll still keep doing virtual as long as, you know, I can see maybe next summer, maybe some live shows happening. Since last March, I've done 2 live shows. One was in July and one was in August with my same group of people who I've known forever. And we did it on their patio, not even in their house. So I think maybe next summer, maybe we'll do some more outside parties, but I think it's going to be a while before people feel comfortable getting together. And so, I'm glad you love virtual, Jennifer, because I really think that when you love it yourself, that you can then sell other people on why it's such a great thing. And to me, it really is about the simplicity of it and, you know, making up the groups. Even when we go back to live, I will continue to make those groups up because I really feel they've been a game changer. Just want more guests. Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. So, I don't know if you guys do an attendance gift. Do you do an attendance gift? anyway, if you don't, I would suggest maybe Judy and Deborah could get talking and talk about some attendance gifts. But yeah, I really started because my numbers were really dropping. Now, a couple things have changed for me. I've really started promoting our attendance gift. So I will message the hostess and I will say, oh my goodness, I know you're going to want whatever one we're, because we have a couple that we can switch around. I know you're going to love having that. Yeah, so having one or none at your shows, it can be defeating, but it does happen. But I'll come back to that one as well. But I would say, yeah, do the attendance gift. And so when I would message my hostess and say, I know you're going to, I want you to have that attendance gift. I know you're going to love it. And so right now you've got 12 people that have said, that they're coming to the group. Now that doesn't necessarily mean they're coming to the group, but they've accepted the invitation. But we just know that it's a numbers thing. And so if you've got 12, then chances are we're going to have 6. So who else can you invite? Who else can you add to the group? Who else can you be talking to? Who else can you send the link to? And getting her excited about the attendance gift. We can offer a gift for the hostess and then a drawing for the guest there. I do find that offering that free draw, people love a chance to be free. You have to be sure she isn't doing a spam. Yeah, you don't want her just sending out one spam message. Facebook does not like that and could shut her down. She needs to privately message people. She can text them. I say to my hostess, even though this is virtual, there is nothing like hearing your voice. So for you to pick up the phone and call a few of your best people and say, I would love to get this show. I want you to see all these products. But you know what? If it's happening all the time, it might be something to do with show planning. If it's happening once in a while, we're only getting 1 or 2, they're called a fluke for a reason, and they're flukes. But if it's happening all the time, then maybe there is something that is kind of missing in the show planning. One of the things I found that made the biggest difference in my guest attendance in this last, I don't know how long I've been doing it for, maybe since the beginning of, I give several text examples or tell them to voice text. That's really good. Do you give her the words to use?
Yeah.
We always used before, maybe I was making it too simple for her. I don't. Maybe some girls do. I just say to my hostess, it really makes a difference if you reach out to your people and let them know how excited you are to see them at the party. Because she knows her people. She's going to say to some, hey, don't forget to be here, or do you know what I mean? But I think it started about the middle of January doing this system of tagging people the day of the party in the Zoom link. And that has made a huge difference, because I think before I was giving my power over to my hostess, asking her to send the Zoom link to people. And I don't think they did it. So I've taken the power back and I tag them myself. So are you calling, messaging, or voice messaging? I usually message. I encourage my hostess to call people, but I usually do a voice message over Facebook Messenger or send them a message. Yeah. But the tagging has made a huge difference in my guest attendance. Yeah. And so, and that's how I show plan pretty much. I have another, I don't know, somebody in our franchise shared it. I'll send it to Judy as well. Just some little colored strips of, just ways that you can work with your hostess to have the best guest attendance. But honestly, I don't panic anymore when there's only, obviously I want 8 or 10 women at my shows. It's so much more fun, but if there's only a few, when you're live streaming, you will get the results. Now, when I'm doing my envelope game, I will say, and for those of you watching the live stream, if you're watching and you're thinking, shoot, I would have picked a card, then message Judy or message myself and give me a card, give me a number from 1 through 12, not 3, because that was already taken tonight, but message me your number. And it's amazing. My hostess will message and say, so-and-so's on the live stream and she wants number 7. Or if somebody messaged me the next day and say, I just watched the show, can I pick number 6? And yeah. So, I just really want to say too, you guys know this business, the business. And so, like I said before, you are the #1 franchise in the US. So you know the business, you just need to convert it into virtual, and don't make it complicated. Keep it simple, sweetie. Don't complicate it. And also, who will be the lead horse? It doesn't have to be, your top managers here that are the lead horse. It could be any one of you be the lead horse. And I love what is she doing atmosphere? Because we get that in our franchise. 31 shows in 18 days. We're like, all right, what is Andrea doing? And then she'll tell us. Or somebody will say, oh my goodness, I had 3 parties this week and, sold like $1,400 and booked 8 shows or whatever. We're like, okay, what did you do that? So you just need somebody who is the lead horse. because we can still reach others by going live in the group, even when we are live face to face again. Absolutely. This virtual business is not going away. And so even when we go live, there will still be a virtual component to it. You can have somebody at your live shows. I don't have my phone here, but you could have somebody, when I'm doing a live show, I could have somebody sitting with a camera like this, or I could even take a tripod to my show and live stream it into her group. So if she's got people far away or couldn't come that night, can still watch the show. Like it's mind-boggling when you think about how the virtual world is going to change everything, and not just in our business, but in our whole world. You know, when everybody says, oh, I can't wait for life to go back to normal. You're not going back to normal. There's going to be a whole new normal. And I'm pretty excited. How is your show? Like same show, or was converted to something else? It's pretty much the same show, Sawyer. I talk a little bit more about, you know, self-care, and that, you know, during these times, really important that we're taking care of ourselves, and, you know, that, you know, I want to be your social distraction, but I thank you so much for being my social distraction. But other than that, it's still the same show, because you know, we're still selling skincare, and we're still selling cosmetics. So yeah. Yep. All right. So if you guys want to unmute yourself, if you have any questions, if you want to do a little Q&A, we can do that. Can we get a video of your show? Sure. You just have to keep in mind that all franchises do different specials and different hostess promotions. So if you see my show, you can't go running back to Judy and say, how come they get to do this? So yeah, I can send Judy.
Judy does great stuff too.
What's that?
Judy does great stuff too.
I know. I would like to see one of I'm sure you guys do great. And so all it is when you see my show and you hear my specials, you go, oh, that's a great special, but we've got this special. I'll just insert this special. Yeah. All right. Anybody have any questions at all? You can unmute yourself. You've got any questions, any comments you want to ask, or yeah, I don't know.
That was very comprehensive.
Yeah, it's my head hurts, but yeah. No, I guess
you know what? It's keeping it simple, and just, you know, don't complicate it. Just get some bookings up, whether it's your own mystery hostess party, or you get on the phone and you say, I've been challenged. One of my friends from Canada challenged me. I don't know whatever you want to say.
So I had 2 parties booked, and I moved them, like, because I talked to like Judy the next day, and she's like, Sheila's doing a training on the 10th. Well, she's not holding her party on the 10th now. We're moving it. But I feel like my biggest struggle is converting my show to virtual, and then like having the outline of like when to, like, I know I wasn't booking parties because I wasn't trying to book parties. I was trying to survive to get through the end of the party and then maybe get some sales. Like,
the biggest mistake that we saw when we started to share this was we saw people thinking, oh, go virtual. And they were coming up with 16 ideas of how to go virtual. Yep. You got to understand what Sheila said. We just did the show in front of a computer. We did not make up another show. So if you have a great show already, you're already there. You just need to know how to use Zoom or Facebook groups. If you don't have a great show, you know, your manager will help you fix your show. But every one of our girls went on and did their show. All they did was at the part of the show where you thank the hostess for inviting everybody, and wasn't that nice of Judy, blah, blah, blah. They inserted, you know, isn't it great that we can do this because we're all locked down, and with COVID, it's so great, and blah, blah, blah. You know, self-care and all the rest of it. But the show is the show is the show. So if somebody had a 40-minute show before they started doing that, they still have a 40-minute show. Mm-hmm. If they had an hour-long show, as some of our people do, they still have an hour-long show. So the show didn't really change. It was just, did they insert things to get people to type in and engage? But they knew how to do their show. So that didn't change. And we did every week when we got on training, we had somebody else give a testimony about how I was petrified and I was afraid and I did it anyway. And it started to build momentum, you know, for the other girls, because Sheila, as Sheila said, she was not the first one to jump on board. Nope. I think it took Patricia, like, I don't even know. She was like, I'm not doing it. She called Misty and said, are you doing it? I'm not doing it. I don't want to do that. You know, so people think that, you know, that these guys just did this, you know, it was like, no, it was a shock. And I do have a prediction. I do believe that when it opens up and when everybody feels safe, it's going to be like the Roaring 20s, and people are going to want a live party, because they literally are going to want to party. Yeah. Like they're going to want to party. So our attitude is when that happens, we're going to party hardy, but we're going to supplement by streaming into events, and we're going to do virtual shows. And as the winter comes back, we'll be right back into virtual. But the truth of the matter is people are doing stuff now they won't be able to do live. Like I know you guys know Melissa, and her mom just had that surgery today. And Melissa does 2 to 3 shows in a night, 1 or 2 nights a week, so that she can take care of her mom. And so she'll do a Facebook show because she knows she can finish it in 40 minutes, go get a drink, check on her kids, fix her lipstick, and then she'll do a Zoom show. So her Zoom show will close quicker because she's doing breakout rooms. The Facebook party, she'll follow up with those people afterwards. So these guys would never have been able to do this ever.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So for me, when this all first started, in the back of my mind, I was pretty sure like, I'll just ride this out. And then when this is all over, then I'll get back to doing live shows. And it wasn't long before I realized that this is not ending anytime soon. So, if I'm going to, oops, I'm sorry, I just flip something there. So then I got thinking, if we are going to be doing this for a while, then we need to be doing this for a while. So and here we are, like 11 months later, still doing it. Jennifer, you asked my party the same length of time. I'm one of those oldie goldies that my show is an hour. I think I've got it down to 55 minutes now. I don't know how these girls do 40 minutes because but you know what, my show is engaging. So if I was getting people, like you can tell when people are disengaged and they're doing other stuff, if I was losing them, then maybe I'd be a little bit worried, but I can keep them engaged. So yeah.
Listen, you can do a 20-minute show that bores people to tears.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can do a 50-minute show that has them engaged, or vice versa. So it really depends.
Yeah.
Question. When you do your show, are you demonstrating the products on your face? Are you talking about them? Are you doing your facial? What the heck are you doing?
Good question. Good question.
Yeah, good question.
I don't demo anything on my face. I come on my party full on makeup, including my eyeshadow.
Your hair shadow?
Yeah. And then I just, as I'm talking about the products, I say, so when I go to talk about my platinum, I will grab my platinum pieces and I bring it over here and I talk about it. And then I quick turn and I bring my Aloe Pure over and I talk about it. Now, when I do the makeup, I do Flawless on the back of my hand, and then I do the pencil eyeliner, and then I'll put a few of my favorite lipsticks on, like I make up the back of my hand. And then I just leave it like that. And then I enzyme peel on the other hand, and then I show them the dead skin. And then when I get to the cleansing oil, then I have a little dish of water that I keep on my desk. And I just put I say to them, I've been coloring up my hand here for 2 reasons. First, I did want you to see the colors. And then secondly, I want you to see how fabulous this cleansing oil is. And so then I'll just sprinkle a little bit of the water, put the cleansing oil on, blah, 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 take a wipe. And then I can show them how great that works. Enzyme peel is really one main thing people demo. Yeah. So other than the enzyme peel, and I do some colors, that's pretty much all I demo.
And if I can share, that was another limiting belief that some of the people said, okay, people aren't going to try it. They're not going to smell it. They're not going to whatever. And it was Ellis. Ellis came on and said, you know what I realized? They sell millions of dollars in cosmetics on TV and nobody ever gets to try it. What was I thinking? What was the problem? And her very first show was like $600 to $1,000. Yeah. So people buy you and your enthusiasm and what you believe in. I mean, what are you really going to do? If somebody says, well, what's that cream like? You're going to go, here, this is what it looks like. Like, really?
It's the words go ahead, honey.
Do you find that when you do those demos, are those the things that people talk about in the breakout rooms, or is it a combination of everything?
Well, my show's probably like many of yours, my show's very heavy focused on skincare. And so when I go to the breakout room, I say, so Emily, did you want to start with skincare and makeup tonight or just skincare? What are you thinking?
Skincare.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So now let me ask you, are you looking at more of our platinum anti-aging line, or are you thinking the regular? And then I just start having a conversation with her and asking questions. But my show is heavy focused on, just like a regular consultation is. So my shows, the shows are very heavily focused on why skincare is so important. So it wouldn't make sense for me to go in the breakout room and say, so Emily, did you want to look at my lipsticks? You'd be like,
No.
yeah. So my show is like, it just, you know, I say, I don't know how many times through my show I'll say, and when we get to the breakout rooms and we do our consultation in the breakout room, you can tell me what your skin issues are. When we get to the breakout rooms, you can let me know if you know, I'll let you know what toner is best for you. When we get to the breakout room, like I probably mention the breakout room 10 times through my party. And I'll say to them, I have all my colors here. So if you're like, how am I even gonna look at colors? I will hold them up to the camera. I will write them on my arm, whatever it needs to be. I'll show you the colors. And then, you know, if somebody wants foundation, I'll say, all right, so I'm not sure how, you know, yeah, exactly. Deborah said,
Right.
For those on the recording, usual consultations, these were just in the breakout room. And so, you know, and then I'll even say, for those of you who are watching the live stream, if you're like, shoot, I would like to go on to the breakout room, send me a message. I'll set up an appointment with you. Like I talk on my show about the people who are on the live stream, because I'm assuming that there's always going to be somebody on the live stream watching.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Hey, Sheila, excuse me. I love the fact that the show is the show is the show, and the show will never change. I don't mean in time element wise, you know, but what you're training on and what you're really saying is the fact that we still do the show, but we just enhance it with virtual and all the bells and whistles, and nothing needs to change, and everything is even better. I mean, I think it's more attitude of looking at how much can I accomplish in a lesser amount of time when you're not driving, and you're, you know, I mean, look at the results y'all are getting. And so that, hey, this is awesome. You did an awesome job.
You know, I think that was one of the things that even in the beginning for us, I think we were like, oh my gosh, like, what are we going to do with these shows? Like, but it's still the show. The show is the show. And so, yeah, you might want to tweak a little bit to say, you know, I say it's kind of like sort of maybe kind of not really, but a little bit like we're all hanging out in Judy's living room tonight. Let's just use our imaginations. And so just kind of tweaking a little bit that way. But as far as the show itself, like there's only one thing that we know. It's only one show we know, right? And so, yeah, there's
just one more thing. And I don't know if you still need to do this or not, Sheila, but I wanted you to tell them, do you let them know this is different from the other companies out there that just post pictures all week? Remember you went
I've actually, you know, that's kind of interesting. I've kind of got away from that. I used to.
Okay.
All right. I got kind of away from that. But yeah, I used to say, this is different than other shows. You know, I'm not going to do, you know, you've seen all the posts that I did in the show group. That was really just to kind of help to introduce you to Alouette. But, you know, I've been to other direct sales where they say, here's the catalog link, have a look through it, and then message me by 4 o'clock on Friday for your order. And I'm always like, I don't even know. I don't know anything about this product. So, you know, this is a live show, just like I was coming to your living room, and I am going to explain all these products to you. So yeah, because you know what, there are a lot of direct sales out there who have gone virtual, but not like Alouette gone virtual. You know, they're jumping in you know, my daughter-in-law had a party and the woman would hop on for like 5 minutes once a day and do a little blurb. And I thought, just come on for a half an hour, tell me everything I need and let me order. That's what I want to do. So how do you get people who aren't familiar with Alouette at all to book virtual? Yeah. Yeah, just what Deborah said, ask them to have one, to check it out. You'd love to get their opinion, just like if you met her. Yeah, it really, you know, if somebody wasn't familiar with Alouette, I would say, oh my gosh, girl, you know, what that relationship square that you saw, what's your relationship to Alouette? When people write number 1 that they're newbies, I will type, and the night of the party, I'll be like, I'm so excited. This is a 42-year-old company, and I don't find newbies too often anymore. So I love having new people to introduce Alouette to. You are going to love it tonight. Part of my show is I say, if you're already using skincare and you switch to ours, you're going to find it goes up another level. If you've never used skincare before, you're going to be like, where has this been all my life? Right? So yeah. Women love to give their opinions and support for sure. And I would just, you know, Tiffany, this is perfect for you. Yeah. You've got people back in your old area that you can say, oh my gosh, I'm like, I don't know how far you are, like 2 hours. I'll throw that out there. You know, why don't we do a virtual party? We can all get together and see each other, and I'll do an Alouette party. And girlfriend, I'm gonna pay your shopping spree. I don't know what you guys do for hostess benefits, but if your hostess pays a shopping spree, my goodness, pay it for her. You're not driving there. You can say, you can get whatever for free. hey, let's get some girls together. And I really, yeah. So that is, you know, for you, Tiff, it's perfect. And then you can also say, oh my gosh, I'm new back to this area and I really want to develop my business in this area. And I'm going virtual. I would love for you to be one of my shows. I don't even know what Alouette is. Oh, you are going to love it, my friend. I do pay the show. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And especially when we're not, yeah. So as Tara said that she does pay the spree, which is great. I was going to say, oh yeah, you girls might be into the, you know, this is true confession time. I don't do the sample thing. You might, and it might work for you. And you know, that's fantastic. I don't do the sample thing just because I think, you know, just try the product. I just had a woman the other night that said, I use whatever brand. And I'm like, you know what, why don't you try this for one kit? Just do one kit.
Right.
And see what you think. And at the end of your kit, if you're like, yeah, I don't really like these results, go back to your old line. But I don't think you're going to. And that's what she did. She's going to try it for one kit. She got the platinum line. She's going to try it for one kit. I know she's going to fall in love with it. So
yeah, we do not ship out any samples at all. It's way too expensive. They're not going to get the experience. Who sees a change in their skin
with a sample
application? That's great.
Yeah. And that's what I do say to people. You know, I could give you a sample. I could have you, if we were able to, I could give you a facial, but you're not going to see a difference in one little sample size. Emily is right. Samples are a lot of work, but you know, if you do them and you love them, then that's what I love about this business, that it's your business. So you do what works for you. For me personally, I like to keep things simple. And I don't like to, foundations are a little bit different because, and Sawyer gets a lot of orders from samples, you know? Yeah. It really is a kind of business that you have to do what works for you. I keep things simple. Like I said earlier, I don't do a lot of even when we could do a lot of one-on-one consultations, because like I said, I'd rather do the spiel for, if I'm going to do it for one, I'd rather have 4 or 5 friends there and I'll do it for all 5 of you. Yeah. Yeah.
And people don't realize how expensive it is in Canada. We can't ask a consultant to do that. I would never ask a new consultant to do that. But Tiffany, Sheila has done shows now for people that she could never have done shows for because she would never have driven there. Yeah. And those people might know somebody where you are now. Like you can say, invite your friends from this other state. I'm now moved here. Does anybody know anybody here? I'll give you the previous hostess referral coupon, you know, whatever. When our girls started out, they literally said to people, we're doing this new thing. Would you be willing to host a show? I'm going to pay your shopping spree. I need to practice. We're going virtual. And I thought of you right away, just like you would with any other bonus. Or they did their own show and they got people on it. And then they did their booking talk and off they went.
One of the girls on my team, her name is Linda. She hasn't jumped into the virtual pool yet. She's holding back. And so in the month of January, I think it was, she said, guess what, Sheila, I've got 3 of my girlfriends and they're going to do a Zoom practice with me so I can practice this. It's just a practice night. It's not a show. I'm like, okay, fantastic. You know, let me know if you need any help, because she wanted to practice the breakout rooms, blah, blah, blah. And the next day she messaged me and she said, you're not going to believe this. I sold $500 last night. And like, she was blown away. But so that's the thing. Like you just never know. You never know.
Well, I had some people that, I was waiting until we got out of COVID to do live shows with, but now I'm like, well, I don't know how long we might. And I do have a girl that wants to do a live show next week because she's like, I don't care anymore. You know? All right. But most
do her friends care?
No, they're all like, no. So, I mean, they all work at the bank, so they're all around each other anyway. So, you know, and that's what I was kind of wondering, like, is my guest attendance down?
Oh, you muted, hun.
Oh, sorry. I kind of wondered, like, is my guest attendance down because, you know, the Mexican restaurant can't even hold all the people? Because, I mean, people, they have to wear a mask in, but you can take it off once you get in. And we are behind on the vaccination. I know all about the vaccination from Jason, so I don't, you know, but like, I really think that it's so much fun and I love doing it because, like Sheila said, now with 3 kids, it is so nice to be able to just like, I had to do it in my room right now because we had to do some work on the internet, but like when I get up in my office, but right now I just do it in my room and I just pull my products up onto my desk. And I love the fact that, you know, for me, I don't have to have babysitters as often. And then I don't have to spend that 4 hours on the road. Do I miss it? I tremendously miss being face to face and like touching people. But I just was telling Mom earlier this month, I was like, we got to figure out what the Canadians are doing, like our sisters, because my guest attendance went from, 6, 8, 10 people on a Zoom party to 2 or 3. And they do stay engaged with me when I'm doing the presentation, but and then people would want me to do the Facebook Live, and I did that on Monday, and she had 6 people coming, and I did a preview video like on Friday night, and she was the only one that watched it. So I'm like, well, I got to go to the groups. I tried the groups, but I didn't think I liked them. So I went back, and now I got to go back to the groups. But, I can see now that if you can schedule the post, that will be like a huge thing.
It's a game changer too.
Well, I was thinking, because one of my consultants, when we weren't in lockdown, she's compromised health, so she's being very, very cautious. And she had a hostess that said, "I'm only going to do it if it's a live party." And so Ruth said to me, "I don't know what to do, Sheila." And I said, "Well, why not let them be all live in their living room on a computer, or like we did for conference. I had some of my girls here, and we live streamed it up on the big TV." And that's what she ended up doing. She did her show from her home, and the hostess had her guests there because they thought that, they were all fine being all together because they're, friends or whatever. And then Ruth just did the show virtually to a room full of people. So that's always an option too, if, because it is true for you with 3 kids and a busy life. And you can say, with my 3 little ones, I'm not comfortable yet going into people's homes, but if you want to get the girls all together from the bank, why don't you put your laptop on the coffee table and I'll do the party. And then I said to Ruth, you could even pick up the phone and call the hostesses, and each person could take turns talking on the phone to you. So, there really are options, but, it might be different. It might be different when, things aren't in lockdown. Maybe the guest attendance will change, but, when you live stream into the party, it really doesn't matter if they come live to the show. They're still,
yeah. If I can tell you, Jennifer, we absolutely lost our attendance in the summer, because in Canada, even though we were still in lockdown, you could go to the park, you could go to the beach, you could go boating. So everybody and their mother was camping or parking or whatever. So the attendance went down. The show average didn't. People were ordering after the fact. So it was kind of like the summer with live shows. Some girls have more, they have to be a little more creative. And we 100% had that. And I said that, make hay while the sun shines. Right now, people are locked in, make the most out of it. You're going to have hundreds and hundreds of customers that are going to reorder from you in the future. I mean, you want to talk about adding people to your VIP group. I mean, you can try to creep around somebody's groups and try to get people to follow you, or you can actually get customers. I mean, customers that they're adding. I think Jacqueline said she added 300 customers to her VIP group in the last few months because of doing shows. So even if they have less shows, they've got all this reorder business. And Denise was in the same position you were in. Every month, Denise would say to me, I still have these 5 hostesses that I'm saving for when we go live. I still have these 5 hostesses I'm going to contact when we're doing a live show. And eventually she contacted them and said, I don't know when it's ever happening. And I don't want you missing out on the benefits. Let's get you the benefits. We'll do virtual and then have another one 6 months from now when we're free. But our attendance absolutely went down in the summertime, and I don't blame people. They were locked up and they wanted to be at the park. So
well, yeah, I don't either. And if you can, like I said, I mean, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do the Facebook Live at the same time as the Zoom, but
listen, Bonnie, I was talking to Bonnie Powell and I said, Bonnie, oh my gosh, I've messed up something that I'm doing on training. And she was like, just live stream it then into the Oakville group. And I was like, I don't even know how to do that. She goes, oh, just follow Sheila's video. I got Sheila's video and I went, here, bing, 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 done. That's how easy it is.
Okay, so we need that video, Sheila.
Yeah, and Donna posted, I need to learn how to set up groups. I got a video for that too. I'll send that to you too.
Send your whole library.
I'll send you everything.
Give us all the videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
because it has to be duplicatable. You have to be able to recruit
That's
people and say, we can set you up.
Yeah.
So every new consultant that starts, she gets the same stuff.
And y'all do the regular, like that we do the $199 kit. Like you don't have like,
I do have a friends and family option, but it has to be asked for. Like the manager has to ask me about it.
We don't talk about it.
Yeah, they don't announce it. We don't announce it because we want people to make money. So that's our thing. We promise people you can earn your kit for free while making money and giving this a try. So anything else we do is kind of, we might decide later, but that's, yeah. And they can't do a show without some product.
Amen. That's what I say.
It's not a lot. We went to a smaller kit. I will say this, Jennifer, we went to a smaller kit. So it's $99, right, Sheila?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's $99 instead of $1,000 kit. It's a $500 kit. We customize the color so that that girl can actually put her own makeup on. So when her agreement comes in, it says which lipstick we want for her, which, well, there's only one blush now, but, we tell her.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I don't even know if we'll go back to a full kit, but they have a full skincare line and they have a color box with makeup in it.
Can they earn that $99 back, or no, they just pay it now?
No. They get that. They earn it free. I would say 98% of our beauty consultants earn it free.
Okay.
For sure. So and they get hostess benefits, right, from all the bookings. So if they want to build their kit from there, they can build it from there.
And the other thing is, so if it's $99 and, like probably pretty much most of your money is coming in through credit cards now.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's all credit card.
Yeah.
But when somebody joins, do they mail the $99 check in?
Their credit card number's on their agreement.
So you run it ahead of time and then credit it back?
We don't, but people do. I mean, other franchises or other groups do, but we don't. But it's right there. They know if you don't do this, this is what the cost will be.
Okay.
But 98% of our people in any given month have earned their kit for free.
Okay.
At least.
I think the only ones who don't earn their kit are the ones who tried to sneak the system and put fake names down, really. Like how I don't know how else you wouldn't qualify. So
yeah.
Right. It's still the same qualifications, right? $1,200.
Okay. So we shortened the kit to half. So we shortened the qualifications to $600.
Okay.
So it's 3 $200 shows.
Okay.
And we have most of them, as you can imagine, earn it in 1 or 2 shows.
For sure.
And some non-shows. And so the success rate is there. The risk rate is like non-existent. So, but we realized they didn't need all this color and all this body care for people to smell and everything else because nobody was going to shows. And so the risk factor of the money was lessened and people were like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
So you do the $99 kit and then they sell 600.
Right.
Do you have a $199 kit anymore?
No.
Do you have an influencer kit?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want me self-recording?
Yeah. I will honor anything. My guys will never lose a recruit to anything else. But we sell people on, do you want to make money? Otherwise, stay in a VIP group.
So you only have one kit?
Yes, ma'am. Well, yeah, but one exact kit. I'll give Judy all the details for you guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
But you know what, girls? It all starts with get your virtual parties booked.
Yeah.
And because you know what, it's so, and I'll say even in even tonight, you probably noticed me glance over to the side. I say in my show, did you notice me glancing over at the side? I got cheat notes right here. You just can't see them. Or when I first started, I had little sticky notes all around the computer. And so it makes people realize, oh, I could do that then. If she's got cheat notes, I could do that. Yeah. Yay.
It also makes you real.
Yes.
Absolutely.
People want authentic anyway.
Yeah.
Preach.
And so do you find that recruiting is harder because you're doing it virtually, or people are receptive just like they would be at a live show?
I think I don't want to say the word easier because, nothing is easy, but it's simpler. I think it's simpler to recruit with the virtual. Really? Like our numbers have gone up. And I think it's because, like I said before, women can see themselves sitting at their computer, sharing products that they love. We give them the show word for word. We give them all the videos and
our recruiting went up 33% last year.
Yeah.
And like I said, we have people that would never have started. The girl that spoke last night at our meeting is a police officer in downtown Toronto. That woman would never have started. And she was our queen of sales last month because she wouldn't be able to do the commute back home and then get out to a show.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, is right.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And they get started in there making money within a very short period of time.
Yeah, that's all we talk about is, do you want to make money? Give it a try. You want to make money, make money, make money, make money, make money, make money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they don't want to continue after the, you know, the $600, just like the other one, they have a lifetime discount. I mean, what have they lost? My goodness.
Okay, so what about this? Some of my consultants might say to me, I would love to, I'm going to wait until we can start doing live parties again because I'm on my computer all day at work and I don't want to come home at night and Zoom.
Do you want to make any money?
Yeah.
That's an excuse.
Yeah, and if
No, I'm not kidding. Seriously. It's like, okay,
true.
do you want, it's like, that's okay. Sure. We're going to be here. You don't need any money this month?
Yeah.
One last check
Overcoming
for Frank and Judy to write.
101.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
That's right. I'd be like, move on to the next one. She'll pick it up when she wants to. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Yeah. We don't try to convince people. We do sell them through testimonies.
Yeah.
And everybody's sick of it. You know, the moms that are homeschooling and, you know, everything else, but it's 45 minutes and you're in your pajamas, except a nice top. And you can go and join your family. It's like,
and it's not like they're doing 7 nights a week. They're, you know, do it 1 night a week or 2 nights a week and see how it works for you. But, you know, I would say, oh, I get it because I am on my computer a lot during the day, making things in Canva and doing my posts. I get it. But to me, it's, you know, I have the goals. It all comes back to, like Deborah said, do you want to make money and do you have goals that you want to, you know, achieve? Like, you know, I want to go to Ireland. So if it's virtual, then that's what I got to do. Then I'm doing virtual. And, you know, to say, you know, I want to wait till this is all over, we do live again. I have figured out now 11 months later, I don't know when this is going to be back to normal and we're doing live again. So I'm not going to, you know, sit in the stands and watch the parade go by. I want to be in the parade. Yeah. And maybe that's something that, you know, you don't necessarily have to direct to people, but my goodness, even our staff, our staff parties and our staff team meetings and our staff Christmas party are all virtual now. Yeah. And so maybe that's saying something, so you're not directing it to one person to say, you know, and I always, whenever my team's together, I say, God bless you girls. Like, I know this is not easy. I know some of you are on your computers all day and you're homeschooling and you're doing whatever, and yet you're still stepping up and reaching for your goals. So I just really want to do a big shout out to you girls that, you know, are just really in this to, you know, make your family's lives better and to reach your goals. And
get a lead horse. That's the thing.
Yes.
Get a lead horse, then the next lead horse, then the next lead horse.
Because when they see somebody in your team, Jennifer, rocking and rolling with virtual, they're going to be like, what is going on? Like, where are these numbers coming from? And then you have her speak at one of your staff meetings. That's huge when you can have one of your girls who says, well, I was going to wait until we got back to doing live parties, but I realized I don't know when that's going to be. And so I've done like 6 virtual parties this month, because then it's not you, their awesome manager, it's one of them. And they're going to be more like, yeah, I could do that. So, you know, I don't know who's on whose staff here, but if you're on Jennifer's team, my gosh, girls, be the lead horse, be the people who are going to be like, holy cow, look at her going. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
jump in the virtual pool. It is fun. It is a fun pool to be in.
It is a fun pool. It is a fun pool. And I do find too, for me personally, the only people that I really have a hard time getting booked when I reach out to them for virtual parties is people in the healthcare industry, like, because they are so exhausted. But then we have people like Emily and Mandy who are in the healthcare like day in and day out. And they're like, girl, I have to get away from it. You know, like, I need a break. But you know, when I reach out to some of those to have parties, they're like, girl, I'm just exhausted. I'm working like crazy because we don't have enough staffing. But when it comes to other people, and I'm like, look, you don't have to wear pants. Your guests don't have to wear bras, and they don't even have to wash their hair. So like, what do you have to lose? And so people, and I will say that I've still been holding parties, but they haven't been super successful. So I wasn't probably booking as many as I would, because I felt like she was getting disappointed. Then I was having to do a lot of work to help her get the show qualified. And so I think now that I have heard Sheila and Deborah talk, I'm like, okay, well, I think that I made it too simple for them, because I said, just pop your people in the group instead of, you need to comment, you need to blah, 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 blah. And, you know, that's why I said, do you give them the words, do you whatever and whatever. And
I got to jump in there, because I have to say, back in April and May, That was what it was, Jen. We would say, Jennifer, we would say, just do a virtual party, and everybody would show up, and we'd be like, woo, let's go. And then we started like once, like I think it was, I don't know what the word I want to say, but when it was new, and people were like desperate to see everybody, like there was like people coming out of the woodwork coming onto parties.
Right. Yeah.
And then we found that, okay, the numbers are dropping a little bit, but more, and I would have people at my party saying, this is my 5th Zoom meeting of the day. So then then that's when we had to get creative and start thinking of these ways of tagging people and, encouraging, bring a friend. We do a gift if they, get a little gift if they bring one friend that the hostess didn't invite, a full-size product if they bring 2. Like then we had to start getting a little bit more creative. So yeah, I think that was part of it in the beginning. I think people were all over it. And then it was like, all right, now we had to do a little bit more work to get the people there. So, yeah.
And if I can be like completely honest, which I know you guys are safe, but like, so I might have forgotten a little bit about my roots. And here's the reason why. Because if I was live in the show with people, I can pull out all the stops. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I was doing a game or whatever and it wasn't working, then I would figure out something else or wrap different gifts or say, oh my gosh, when you book, you get this and blah, 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 blah. And so because I wasn't having that attendance, I was like, I just got discouraged. And then also there's been this, like, and I know we need to do both, right? But there's been this big push that we got to figure out all this other technology as well. And I was trying to juggle, everything. And now that I'm not like a lot of people, but I'm in my little boat trying to row to figure it out. Poor Sawyer is like, oh my gosh, what do you want to know now? But, it's, I'm just trying to.
But you're a team, and that's the same as us. You guys are a team. When Sheila said to me, is it okay if I say this stuff? I said, absolutely. This is Judy's franchise. Absolutely. Sheila's good at some stuff. Andrea jumped on something else. Bonnie and I are probably the last. But so we get videos made. Patricia figured out something, even though she didn't want to do it. Misty did something, so we share it. So you do have to stay in your lane in a sense. You do have to say, where is my ROI? Where is my return on investment? I'm going to focus on my return on investment. And Bonnie and I have this discussion every month. And I said to Bonnie, I want to learn one thing new every month. And if I happen to learn 2 things in a week, well, I'm done for the month. I'm done. Like, I don't need to learn something else now, because you can't be all things to all people all the time. And things change every 5 seconds. So I only want to learn what is going to give me an ROI. And I'm okay. I'm okay being late to the party. I'm okay with us being behind the scenes for something, because when somebody shows me the money, we'll be all over it like white on rice, but not until then, because my people are counting on making money. So I do think as beauty consultants and as women, we think if she learned it, I have to learn it. If they're doing this, we all have to do this, or there's something wrong with me. And that's not true. You guys are the #1 freaking franchise in the United States. You have the top managers, you know how to do good shows, you know how to sell, you know how to entertain. It's just taking it virtually. And then, listen, I still don't make a square, Jennifer. I still don't know how to make a square.
I don't know what that is.
A square. I don't know how. Sheila did a class on Canva. I haven't even looked at it yet, because I said to Ashley Bowerman, okay, this year, Ashley, I'm going to learn how to make my own square. She goes, oh, for God's sakes, cut it out. Send it to me and I'll do it. And you'll have it done like that. And I send her some product. So I still haven't done it. We had $1.2 million increase last year. Are we not going to increase because I don't know how to do Canva? I don't think so.
Right. Well, that makes me feel better.
You have people who do Canva.
Right.
Right.
I have
Like,
people who do it.
Yeah.
But you know what, Sawyer? Here's the other thing. And I don't think we should ever go to one person and think that person should always do it. I think that the other girls on the team, even if they're brand new, we have brand new beauty consultants that are graphic designers, and they feel like $1 million when we ask them to make something, because they're contributing and they're a part of it. So yeah. I've never had a problem delegating or asking people, because I know it builds their self-esteem and their confidence. I wouldn't go to one person all the time without compensation, even if it is product, and ask them to do everything. But these girls have been phenomenal. And then they get the praise and the thank you from everybody else.
Yeah, it definitely, we definitely have girls that are super talented, and doing the technology thing. And for a long time, I just was like, and so now that I'm trying to up my, whatever, like when Sheila was talking, I messaged Sawyer and I was like, I don't know how to do that screen sharing. She's
Okay,
like, your mom does.
Yes. And the only thing you need to learn how to do, Jennifer, is streaming into the group and screen sharing. That's it. Don't even think about anything else, because you can share that screen with before and after pictures during your show.
Yes. Yes.
That's it. Just do that and live stream, and then decide 4 months from now if you need to learn something else.
You know what, Jennifer? If you don't share screen at your party, you can still be successful, because I don't share screen at my parties.
You don't? Okay. Well, and I mean,
I know some of them do. They have great pictures and beautiful pictures done up with. Oh, that's something I was asking for something. And with all the product, but I hold up the products, so that's my screen share, is me holding up the products. But
we've actually cut people back from that screen sharing, because they were doing way too much screen sharing. So we said, 1 or 2 pictures. That's it.
All right. Bye.
Because you want people at the shows connecting with you, not just looking at a screen. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
The live stream thing, yeah, you're going to want to get that one, and I will send the video.
I'm so excited about that, because I've been wanting to do it, and I'm like, I don't know how to do it. I looked at buttons, I looked at a link, and I was like, nah.
I watched a YouTube video.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Okay, I've learned so much else and stuff. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, let somebody else do it. Okay, I'm going to say this last thing and then I'm going to shut up. Okay, so listen, this is how amazing that whole concept is, Jennifer. Because if you did have some of those hostesses who couldn't have a show, you'd say, you know what, how about if I post a show in your group and we'll get you some sales and we'll get you some hostess benefits.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
That's smart.
We've been doing it.
That's awesome. And so she just messages her friends from there and puts
You just drop the live stream in there? And be like,
here's a little tip that I do. My first party of the month, I record it and live stream it, so that if I do happen to get ghosted at a party, which means just me and the hostess shows up, then I will go into her group and I'll say, due to technical difficulties tonight, I wasn't able to record the party. I don't say because none of you showed up. I say, due to technical difficulties, I wasn't able to record the party tonight, but here is a recording of another party. And so watch it, and we're going to close the party out Friday at noon. Or, I'm home during the day. I could just do a generic party without even a hostess's name at the beginning of every month, because our specials change monthly. And then I have it in my back pocket if I ever need to post it into a group if I've been ghosted at a party. So that's another option too.
That's a great idea.
So you don't really, sorry. So if you do that generic party, you don't necessarily have to Zoom it. You just record it and drop it into the group, right?
That's
right. Deborah's going.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
And you just say, our hostess. Right.
That's fantastic.
I know I said I wasn't going to say anything else. I'm going to tell you this last one. You're going to love it. We have a whole Mennonite group. They will not go on any of that stuff, but they do WhatsApp to keep in touch with all of their family all over the world. The girls just dropped the video in WhatsApp. They're having $400 to $600 shows.
That's awesome.
The story is we need to find us some Mennonites.
The moral of the story is we do the party and record it and live stream it.
Heck yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear from Judy in the next couple of weeks who's running away with virtual life.
Also, can you email us right now? Thanks.
Yes, I will email Judy tonight. I promise.
Yes, I can't thank you
amazing.
Deb for showing up. I was thinking, in another century, another time, I would have flown you in and we would have been live. But you know what? This has been the next best thing. I mean, so it's like the show. This is
not for nothing. Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Listen, that's the truth. How often could I have flown Sawyer or Jennifer up, or, come down to see you? You spend all that money. We can do this every week, for gosh sakes. I mean, it's amazing.
Don't promise anything.
Yeah, we might hold you to it.
Yeah. Can I say one thing before we get off, or y'all can end it too? But y'all just repeated some of the key things that Sheila said, and you might have meant to repeat the key things that Sheila said, but I'm old school and I love seeds. And I wrote and put tally marks every time Sheila said it's the next best thing. And it's never been easier. It's never been easier. It's never been easier. And those are really key to me because you're selling it to yourself.
Yeah.
And repeating that. So I got lots of those.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see
Sheila.
what's happening down there.
Yes.
Well,
thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Deb.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both
Thank y'all
so much.
very much.
Right, I'm going to stop